There is a power inside your mouth that is greater than any key you could ever hold in your hand. Words are not just sounds. They are forces, invisible currents that move through the air but settle deep into your spirit, into your surroundings, into the very atmosphere around you. When you speak, you are not only communicating, you are creating. Every word carries the weight of life or death, blessing or curse, breakthrough or barrier. Many people do not realize that their destiny is not locked away in some far corner of the world. It is resting on their own lips, waiting for them to declare it into being. Think for a moment about how everything began. The universe itself did not start with bricks or stones, it started with words. Light came because a word was spoken. Life came because a word was released. If creation itself was birthed through words, how much more can your world be reshaped when you begin to speak the right things? Too often, people cancel their own blessings by the confessions of their mouths. They look at closed doors and say, "This will never open for me." They look at sickness and say, "I will never be well." They look at lack and say, "I will always be poor." And without knowing it, those words build invisible walls that trap them inside their own declarations. But there is another way. When you open your mouth and speak words of life, when you declare with faith and conviction, you release a force that cannot be contained. It is not empty noise, it is power. Your words become keys that fit into locked doors. Every syllable becomes like a turning of the handle, and soon what was once sealed begins to swing open before you. This is why I tell you, do not take lightly the words you say over yourself, your family, your future. What you say shapes what you see, and here is the secret. Words grow stronger when they are repeated in faith. A single declaration is like a spark, but when you say it again and again, it becomes a fire that cannot be quenched. Repetition is not weakness, repetition is reinforcement. When you say it once, you release faith. When you say it twice, you establish it. When you say it 3 times, you seal it. You are driving the truth deeper into your spirit, and at the same time sending a signal into the unseen realm that this door cannot remain closed any longer. Some of you are standing in front of doors that have been locked for years. The door of peace, the door of restoration, the door of financial freedom, and you have been waiting, knocking, hoping. But today I want to tell you, the key has been in your mouth all along. Stop saying, "I cannot." Stop saying, "It is impossible." Start saying, "The doors are opening. The way is being made. My future is unlocked." Say it, not once, not casually, but 3 times with conviction. When you do, you will feel something shift, because words are not just vibrations. They are spiritual weapons. So understand this, your words are not cheap. They are not ordinary. Every time you open your mouth, you are either building walls or opening doors. Choose wisely. Speak life, speak faith. Speak the promise, not the problem. And as you keep declaring, as you keep repeating the truth, you will see that no matter how heavy the lock, no matter how strong the chain, your words of faith will break them, and all doors will open before you. Faith is the invisible hand that turns the handle of doors that seem locked forever. Many people try to open doors with their own strength, connections, resources, influence, or clever strategies. And while effort has its place, there are doors in life that will not respond to effort, only to faith. Faith is not wishful thinking or positive optimism. Faith is the assurance that what God has promised is more real than what your eyes see. It is a confidence that does not depend on circumstances, but on the unshakable nature of His Word. When faith is spoken out loud, it carries authority. It does not beg, it commands. It does not tremble, it declares. And when that declaration is made, even the most stubborn doors begin to shift on their hinges. Think about the doors you face right now. Some are doors of opportunity, jobs, relationships, business ventures, that remain shut despite your qualifications. Some are doors of healing where the doctor has said there is no hope. Some are doors of peace where your heart feels constantly troubled. These doors do not open with the keys of logic. They open when faith is released, when words filled with conviction are spoken into the atmosphere. Faith transforms words from ordinary sentences into decrees that heaven recognizes and earth must obey. Closed doors are not a denial, they are often a test of faith. They ask you, will you believe what you see, or will you believe what you cannot yet see? Too many people give up at the sight of a locked door, assuming it means never, but faith looks at a closed door and says, not yet. Faith looks at an obstacle and says, this too will move. And when that faith is expressed with your lips, when you dare to speak life over what seems dead, you position yourself for miracles. There is a reason why silence in the face of trouble is so dangerous. When you are silent, the closed door remains unchallenged. But when you open your mouth with faith and say, this door must open, you are activating the law of heaven. You are announcing that your situation will not end in defeat. You are telling your mountain to move, your chains to break, your opportunity to be released. Faith does not wait for doors to open by accident. Faith speaks until the lock gives way. Do not underestimate how heaven responds to faith. A whisper of fear may not move anything, but a shout of faith can shake the ground. Faith calls things that are not as though they were. Faith dares to say, I am healed, when the symptoms are still present. Faith dares to say, I am blessed, when the bank account is empty. Faith dares to say, the doors are open, while you still stand in the hallway. And when that declaration is made, unseen hands begin to work on your behalf. Situations shift, people's hearts change, opportunities align, and suddenly the door that resisted you swings wide open. So let me remind you, faith is the master key. Where human effort ends, faith continues. Where logic stops, faith steps in, and the way you release that faith is through your words. Speak with assurance. Declare it 3 times with conviction. Do not ask timidly. Proclaim boldly. Say, the doors are opening, the way is made, my blessing is on the way. And as you keep declaring, you will see that what once seemed impossible begins to bow to the authority of faith. When you speak something once, it has power, but when you speak it again and again with conviction, that power grows stronger. Repetition is not weakness, it is reinforcement. Every time you repeat a word of faith, you are chiseling away at the walls that stand before you. You are telling your mind, your spirit, and the unseen realm that this truth cannot be ignored. Saying it 3 times is not about empty ritual. It is about sealing your belief so deeply that no doubt can uproot it. It is about making the invisible more real than the visible. Think about a seed planted in the ground. 1 drop of water will not bring it to life, but if you water it again and again, soon it will sprout. The repetition does not change the seed itself, but it activates what is already within it. In the same way, when you declare words of faith repeatedly, you are watering the seed of truth planted in your spirit. You are nurturing it until it breaks through the soil of impossibility and grows into visible reality. When you say it once, your mind may resist. Doubts may rise, whispering that it is impossible. When you say it the 2nd time, you are pushing back against those doubts. And when you say it the 3rd time, something begins to shift, not only within you, but around you. It is as if the atmosphere takes notice. The spiritual realm begins to align with your declaration. What was unseen starts to take form. Repetition also builds confidence. A soldier does not train once and expect to win a battle. He practices until his reflexes are unshakable. In the same way, when you repeat words of faith, you are training your spirit to respond with strength. You are rehearsing victory until it becomes second nature. By the time you have declared it 3 times, your spirit stands taller, your faith is sharper, and your words carry an authority they did not have before. This is why saying it 3 times is so significant. The first time, you are speaking to your situation. The second time, you are speaking to your soul. The third time, you are speaking to heaven and declaring that nothing will stand in your way. Each repetition adds weight, adds momentum, adds power. It is like striking a wall with a hammer. One strike may not break it, but repeated blows will eventually bring it down. Do not be afraid to sound persistent. Persistence is the language of faith. The widow who kept knocking at the judge's door was not ignored because she was weak, but because she would not give up. The judge gave her what she asked. In the same way, when you speak your faith again and again, you are showing heaven that you are serious, that you will not stop until the door is open, and heaven always honors that kind of persistence. So, when you stand before a closed door, do not mumble once and walk away. Stand firm, lift your voice, and declare your promise 3 times with boldness. Say it until it echoes in your heart. Say it until the chains start to loosen. Say it until the atmosphere responds. And when you do, you will find that repetition has built a force so strong that no door can remain shut. When your words align with truth greater than yourself, they gain a force that nothing on earth can resist. Words on their own can inspire, but words spoken in agreement with eternal promises carry divine authority. They are not just your words anymore, they become an echo of heaven's voice. This is why it is so important to guard what you speak. If your declarations are rooted in fear, they produce fear. If they are rooted in doubt, they strengthen doubt. But when your words flow out of the promises that cannot fail, they open doors that no human hand could ever touch. Imagine walking in perfect rhythm with music. Every step feels light, every move effortless. That is what happens when your words fall into rhythm with the promises that were spoken long before you were born. It is not about inventing new declarations. It is about remembering and releasing the ones already established for you. The power is not in your imagination. It is in your agreement. Agreement activates authority. When you say, "I am not forgotten, I am blessed, I am victorious," you are not making up wishful thoughts. You are aligning your mouth with what heaven already knows about you. That alignment turns a whisper into a decree, and a decree into a reality. The reason many people's words seem powerless is because they are not in alignment. They speak blessings but live in doubt. They declare victory yet harbor defeat in their hearts. But when the heart and the mouth agree with divine truth, there is a release of power that no obstacle can withstand. It is like electricity flowing through a wire. Only when the circuit is connected does the current begin to flow. In the same way, when your spirit and your speech connect with eternal promises, the current of heaven surges through you and begins to move things on your behalf. Alignment is not passive, it is a choice. Every day you are presented with the option to speak what you feel or to speak what is true. Feelings may tell you, "This door will never open." But the promise says, "I set before you an open door which no one can shut." Feelings may whisper, "You are too weak." But the truth says, "In your weakness, strength is made perfect." When you choose to let your lips echo the truth instead of the fear, you pull heaven's reality into your own. This is why your words cannot remain neutral. Neutral words are wasted breath. Every declaration either pushes you toward blessing or pulls you deeper into defeat. So be intentional. Let your confession match the promise. Speak light when darkness surrounds you. Speak healing when pain grips your body. Speak abundance when lack tries to define you. Each time you do, you are setting your life on the same track as the word that never returns void. And here is the mystery: The more you align, the more you transform. At first, you may feel like you are just repeating words, but as you continue, your mindset changes, your spirit strengthens, and even your circumstances begin to bend. Doors that seemed unmovable suddenly swing open, not because of your own strength, but because your words carried the weight of heaven itself. Alignment turns ordinary speech into divine command, and divine command will never be ignored. So, the next time you face a locked door, do not argue with it in your own language. Speak the language of truth. Say it once, twice, 3 times, until your words and your heart are in complete agreement with what cannot fail. When you do, you will see that alignment is the secret key. Once your mouth and the promise are one, every door must respond. Every closed door in your life is not the end of the story. A closed door does not mean rejection, it does not mean abandonment, and it does not mean failure. A closed door is often only temporary, waiting for the right moment, the right key, and the right declaration of faith to swing open. Too many people see a locked door and assume it is permanent. They settle in front of it, build their homes in disappointment, and convince themselves that what is behind that door was never meant for them. But what looks like a permanent wall is often just a waiting season. It is a pause, not a conclusion. Think about how doors operate in the natural. They are designed to open and close. They are not built to remain locked forever. A closed door is part of the function, but the hinge is made for movement. In the same way, the obstacles before you may appear immovable, but they were never designed to resist you forever. The sickness is not eternal. The lack is not eternal. The loneliness is not eternal. These things may stand before you now, but they are only temporary. The moment you release the right word in faith, the lock begins to loosen. Many people misunderstand delay as denial, but delay is often the preparation of something greater. A closed door can protect you until you are ready. It can hold back what you are not yet strong enough to carry. It can teach you persistence, patience, and trust. But once the lesson is learned, once your spirit is aligned, that door cannot remain closed a moment longer. It must open because it was never meant to be sealed against you. It was waiting for the appointed time when your declaration and your destiny would meet. That is why your words matter so much in seasons of closed doors. What you say in front of a shut door determines how long it remains closed. If you speak despair, the door feels heavier. If you speak defeat, the hinges grow rusted. But when you stand before it and speak life, when you say, "This is temporary and it will not last, the door is opening for me," you release a force that begins to move it. Your words become the oil on the hinge, the hand on the knob, the push that shifts it open. Do not let the closed doors intimidate you. They are not there to stop you. They are there to test how much you truly believe. Anyone can celebrate when doors are wide open. But faith is proven in the hallway, when you stand before silence and still dare to speak life. Every no you hear, every delay you face, is only a setup for the greater testimony waiting behind that door. And when the time comes, your declaration will be the trigger that makes it open, not by accident, but by authority. So the next time you encounter a closed door, do not let discouragement take root. Lift your voice, say it once, twice, 3 times, "This door is temporary. It must open. My blessing is waiting." Speak it until your heart believes it and your environment responds to it. Because no door that is meant for you can remain shut when you stand in faith and declare the truth. Every closed door is only a season, and every season must eventually change. Transformation begins not with the shifting of circumstances, but with the shifting of words. What comes out of your mouth has the ability to shape who you are becoming. When you speak doubt, you strengthen doubt. When you speak fear, you empower fear. But when you speak life, you awaken life within you. Every confession is like a brushstroke painting the canvas of your future. Over time, those brushstrokes form a picture that either reflects bondage or freedom, defeat or victory, despair or hope. Your confession is not small, it is the blueprint of your destiny. Consider how a person's identity is formed. It is not only shaped by what others say about them, but also by what they say about themselves. If someone continually says, "I am weak, I cannot do it, I will always struggle," those words become chains, wrapping tighter each time they are spoken. The mind accepts them as truth, the heart begins to live them out, and the future bends to match that confession. But the opposite is also true. When someone says, "I am strong, I am chosen, I am more than a conqueror," those words begin to create a different reality. The mind shifts to believe it, the heart beats with confidence, and doors open that once seemed impossible. Confession is more than a statement. It is a seed planted in the soil of your life. Each time you repeat it, you water it. Each time you declare it, you nurture its growth. And just as a seed grows silently before it breaks through the surface, your confession begins its work in unseen places. You may not notice change immediately, but beneath the surface, roots are spreading, foundations are being laid, and transformation is already taking place. Eventually, what you have spoken will rise into view, and everyone will see the fruit of your words. But transformation through confession does not only affect you, it affects everything around you. When you consistently speak words of peace, your atmosphere begins to reflect peace. When you speak words of healing, even those near you feel strengthened. When you speak words of victory, your environment becomes charged with hope. It is impossible to fill your world with light-filled confessions and remain surrounded by darkness. The two cannot coexist. One must give way to the other, and light will always overcome darkness. That is why discipline in confession is so vital. You cannot speak life one moment and death the next, and expect transformation. A divided confession produces confusion, but a consistent confession produces breakthrough. Say it, believe it, live it. Over time, those words will change not only how you think, but also how you walk, how you see, and how you respond to challenges. Confession renews the mind, strengthens the spirit, and aligns your steps with purpose. And when you speak it 3 times, you drive that confession deeper into your being. The first time, you announce it. The second time, you affirm it. The third time, you seal it. You anchor it so firmly in your heart that no wave of doubt can uproot it. Soon you are no longer just saying the words, you are living them. Transformation has taken place, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. So never underestimate the power of your confession. It can either keep you locked out of destiny or open every door you need. Speak life, and life will surround you. Speak victory, and victory will find you. Keep confessing until the transformation is so complete that when others look at you, they no longer see who you once were. They see the living evidence of the words you dared to speak in faith.